My name's Billy Moore, and today's special guest is none other than Ben Hatchett. Ben, thanks for coming along, mate. I mean that.
I appreciate the invite.
It's good to have you here. Tell us a little bit about your story, so our viewers can get to know who you are.
Obviously, my name's Ben Hatchett. I've recently hit the scene. There's a lot of stuff going on YouTube and that with me. Obviously, done the podcast with James English. Obviously, my boxing. I've been out 4 months now. I was in the high secure units. Obviously, like I said, my label is that I'm the only man kicked out of Broadmoor since Charlie Bronson. And obviously, I come up this way, Liverpool. I come to Ashworth. So this is the first time I've been in Liverpool since, obviously, I was in Ashworth. So I'm actually in Liverpool today as a free man, which is, I actually get to see the scenery now, which is actually quite nice. But yeah, so obviously I'm on been filmed for Amazon Prime movies. They've been filming me since the day I got out. The documentary film, it's called Road to Redemption. Obviously, it's leading up to my debut boxing fight, which is still a bit up in the air and that at the minute. But yeah, it's just all about, obviously I'm down a path of redemption. I'm trying to get into boxing. I'm trying to spread a positive message, about trying to inspire the younger generation about, not wanting them to go down the path that I went down, or just trying to put, that positive seed of thought into people, into young guys, not just guys, but girls in their head about trying to, going after your dreams, going after something. I'm a firm believer in law of attraction. I published a book, just trying to, it's my redemption. So now I'm trying to do something positive. I made a lot of negativity when I grew up. I don't make any excuses for that. I think sometimes our environment and what, becomes our education, the people surround us of. So with that education, I acted out on a lot of antisocial, which led to me going away for a long time.
So how old are you, Ben?
31 now.
And where are you from?
I was born in Hastings. I grew up in Eastbourne.
Yeah.
But now I'm back in Hastings now.
So growing up in Hastings, what contributed to you ending up in the likes of Broadmoor and Ashworth?
So as I grew up,
tell me that story. I want to hear it.
Well, I did a lot of time in the care systems as a kid and that. So I think back in the early 90s, the care system, it's not as what it is now. There's still a lot of shit, there's still a lot of bullying, still a lot of things going there. Always been a smaller dude. I had troubles when I was younger with that. Obviously, I come out to Eastman. Like I said before, I always sort of felt like an outcast. I never felt like I fitted in anywhere as a kid. Yeah. And then the only time, I always struggled to mix with people, and I always had a bit of a hard time. But when I started going into the town about 14, 15, another group of lads, and I started mixing well with them, and that's when I, got involved with violence in the town. That's when when I first knocked someone out, and I realised, shit, I can knock someone out. You know what I mean? I'm never gonna let someone fuck with me again. And it just, and just that street cred you get, that reputation, and all what comes with it. I finally found that I felt kind of safe for once. I felt I wasn't hurting inside. I felt some sort of relief and escapism. And that's what.
Did you feel like you were fitting in when you were on the streets with these other kids? Because for me, I can identify with the not fitting in my own family, not feeling a part of something, and then wanting to be accepted by others, and getting involved in fights and knowing that you can stand up for yourself. Yeah. So where did that take you from then on?
It took me then just more and more violence, and then like I said, I lost someone very close to me, which was my foster mum at the time. I've already been getting charges and that at the time, so I knew I was going to be going to prison sooner or later. But yeah, just around with all them guys just going around, it was I was just, I was drinking a lot, and I was boozing, experimenting with drugs. I had no goal, I had no ambition, I had nothing. Do you know what I mean? All I had was life on the road, they call it now, or life on the streets, we know. And then, but I just found, ducking and diving, moving around, I just sort of, that's all I had. That's all I knew. Do you know what I mean?
I think similar kind of experiences is when we're growing up, we lack that feeling of being loved and wanted and needed, and especially being in the care system. Fortunately I never experienced that. I did spend a lot of time in young offenders, but that was my own consequences. My mum was loving and caring in that, other areas, but she said when you've made your bed, you lie in it, and get out and, but so that must have been really difficult, did you? And it's mad, isn't it, because you don't really understand what's going on, because you're still developing as a youngster, you know what I mean?
Yeah, of course, and especially when you're growing up, when you're surrounded and you're not growing up stable, Do you get what I'm saying? So when you're like, you know, you're easily influenced. I was very easily influenced. You know, because, you know, to be honest, if anything, I was quite vulnerable then. You know, I thought I was the man going around with these guys and getting them, you know, all the sorts of trouble and that. I thought I found like my sort of safety net. But at the same time, I was very vulnerable because I was very easily led, very easily influenced. And it was just dramas and dramas, man. I was catching more and more charges. You know, I went to young offenders. You know, I come out young offenders worse, if anything. I thought I had that reputation. I come out young offenders, people like, hey, just come out. And, you know what I mean? You're so fucking deluded when you're younger, bro. You actually then you feel like, fucking hell, like, I'm cool, I've done young offenders. Like, it sounds like so cringy, but it's true how you think. I'm just keeping it real. That's how you think. So, you know, I think it was 8 months through 4 months or something. I did 4 months and I come out just worse. And, you know, I just wanted to get more involved with this sort of street life. And you meet different people like a bit more higher up, you know, a bit more active with certain things, more robberies and, you know, and all them fucking films you watch when you're younger, like Scarface and Goodfellas, and, you know, you just sort of like, I was drawn to that, you know, so, you know, I was like, so drawn into that sort of...
That world.
Yeah.
That world felt quite attractive.
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah,
you know, it's like anything like the dark streets and all that kind of gear was quite attractive to me. I so you understand. So going back to the young offenders, it's not a place for someone to get rehabilitated. No. Do you think?
No, I don't think it is.
No.
Not when you're doing, especially when you're doing a few months and that as well. Like you know, you go in, it could affect you. You could, you know, think, oh, I don't want this and that again inside. But for me, it had a complete opposite effect. Like I didn't see it as like, this has knocked me, like this is like thrown me off now. If anything, it put like, what's the saying, fuel to the fire. Yeah. You know, it added fuel to the fire that, you know, that was fucked. I had no life, no ambition, no goals and nothing, you know, it was just, if anything, I felt like I got a badge of honour. Yeah. You know what I mean? It sounds so sad, but it's the truth. That's how I felt at the time. You know, I've done young offenders, like I got that badge of honour now. Yeah. But
what was your experience with the screws like? Did you have was the communication, was the empathy, was the understanding, was it just violence?
No, I went to Huntercombe. Like, they didn't really have that sort of like rapport or relationship and that with the screws and that, especially with like a short time. You know, as I got older, I went to the jails and that. Like my relationship was always quite, you know, confrontational. Like, you know, I did the prison roofs, I did the hospital, you know, alleged I took hostage. You know, the amount of violence and all that. I really fought the system. I fought the system hard and hard. Like, I fought over and over again, you know. I fought it to the max. But there was only, obviously, the only time my relationship really grew was here in Liverpool, you know what I mean? With Ashworth, you know, I said, I have a boy guy. They was like, would you Liverpool? I said, Scousers are cool, you know what I mean? It's like Scousers, you know, I got love for the Scousers. But I really grew as a person in Ashworth. Yeah. That was the only time my relationship, and obviously with the psychologist who, you know, when the penny dropped for me, when I had that conversation with the psychologist, was after my last violence on another human.
So what happened for you to get put in Ashworth? Because that's a big one, and it's not somewhere that they just send you willy-nilly, is it really?
No, I got kicked out of Broadmoor.
That's even worse.
Yeah, no, I got kicked out. Yeah, that's me. I got kicked out of Broadmoor, so they kicked me out of there. There's like a lot of it's coming out on the Amazon Prime. You know, there was an alleged. It's not alleged. There was a riot, but the thing is, when it does come out and it does talk, there was a big cover up. Yeah, and I'll say this now. Yeah. There was a cover up with Broadmoor. Yeah, you know, a whistleblower come up, Billy. Yeah. So there's ain't me chatting shit. A whistleblower. It's on the internet. How we was getting treated. Yeah. Like recently, last few days ago, my friend, I was in the trenches with Broadmoor on this ward. It's called Epsom Ward. It was fucking hell. Yeah, what they was doing, how they was treating us was wrong. One guy come out. He got out months and that ago. He's been recalled. And I rang the hospital just to speak to him and see if he was alright and that. Because we went through that experience together in Broadmoor. And he broke down. He said to me, Ben, like, they say we go there, it's meant to be a hospital, we go there for therapy. You need fucking therapy when you come out of that place. Yeah. You know, and the staff's come out, and there's a whistleblower that was saying in the papers saying about how it all treated the short staff and the patients being treated when we was. And that's why that happened that night. Yeah? It wasn't about trying to show off and be funny and all that. Like, what the fuck was going on there was wrong. You know, and obviously the time, you know, with Amazon Film, you know, it's all going to come out. you know, there's paperwork and everything, you know. But
So while you were there, you felt like you were dismissed and just left to your own devices and not treated properly.
no, I believe, man,
Yeah.
they don't treat you right in there, bro. You don't come back from that. I said to you, like, my experience there, obviously everyone knows, like, you know, I had a lot of beef with the extremists because in prison I was attacked for no reason by a few of them. And obviously when I got to Broadmoor, I got one of them back. I bounced a cricket ball off one of their head, but I didn't realise he was high up in Al Qaeda. Like, you know, America was trying to transfer him, isn't it? Haroon, and he was like, do you remember Hamza the Hook?
Yeah.
He was his right hand man. They were setting up camps and that in the UK, but he was like, I believe and I know that he was orchestrated in prison for me to be attacked. That's why I got the gold teeth. They kicked my teeth, they did my ribs, they went to work on me for no fucking reason, because I had a bulldog tattooed on my leg. It's a bulldog with boxing and says Tottenham underneath it. I'm a Tottenham fan. Sorry, Liverpool. No, I mean, but
I'm anyway.
I'm a boxing fan. I'm a Tottenham fan, so it represents that. But just to be honest, it was out of boredom why they did it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? You know what it's like in them jails and that, people just get fucking bored, and that they just found like they made an excuse up to go in on me. And
So you felt you were targeted basically because of a British bulldog tattoo, and were they trying to identify you as a racist? And
yeah, they're trying to identify like the EDL and that. Like, I don't fucking, bro. It was like, where you from? I was like, I'm from the South Coast. I'm from Eastbourne, bro. I'm from Langley Estate in Eastbourne. Like, and then something like, no, you're from Luton, bro. I don't even know what fucking Luton is. No, man, I never heard of fucking Luton and that, bro. Like, and they was trying to say, I think because there was all that going on with like the EDO and all that at the time, and no one knew who that Tommy Robinson was. There was all like bandanas, balaclavas.
Yeah.
Do you remember? There was like, it was in the papers like every day, who's this EDO, and there's all this. So I think with that was going on, so tensions were high. We was on the unit in prison, and then they've just seen my bulldog, and I think they just made an excuse just to go in on me. But I was still very sore on it. And then weeks later, like, you know, it was actually months later, I was in Broadmoor and I saw the Haroon. He never come in my cell, but he was like, I don't know, you could just tell he was like a puppet master out of them boys.
Yeah.
And every week I'd be going over to cricket and I just thought, no, I'll just leave it. But then I was still very sore about it, but that's still like them emotions, innit, acting out of them. But no, when I had the opportunity, I bounced the cricket ball off his head. And then after that, they wasn't happy. Then that just made my experience in Broadmoor. I had a lot more enemies, and they were just coming for me left, right, and centre. And I clashed with the staff there. Yeah, man. And when I was young, I'd been hot watered and stabbed in like a few weeks of being there because some guy thought I was a zombie, you know. And so when he did that, I had nerve damage on my back. Yeah. And I had to go on like the painkillers and that. And then I went on to tramadol. Yeah. But tramadol was like no, if you've been on drugs and that as well, yeah. I've seen your film. I've seen the film. Like taking them drugs in them places, it escapes, innit? It takes you away. Yeah. So when they give me these tramadols, I was thinking, wow, what the fuck? Like all this like pain, you know, not having a release date. That, you know, they gave me life. Like taking all these tramadols sort of was an escapism. It would take like, you know, a bit away from my reality. Yeah. So it was just sort of, I took on them. I wasn't eating. The appetite stopped. I wasn't eating. I was training, so I was underweight. I had acne. They put me on Roaccutane. I was just fucking broken, bro.
Yeah. You know, can I identify? I mean, tramadol is a chapter in my book called Tramadol and Transsexuals, yeah. And I was taking, you know, 10, 20 tramadol a day. And that was just exactly the same escape. I didn't want to face reality. I didn't want to wake up. I didn't have the courage to end my life at the same time. I was like, it was the oddest feeling ever. And I just take anything. But there's a consequence, isn't it? There's a consequence. Your inhibitions are low and you become really vulnerable. Exactly, especially to attacks like yourself there, you know what I mean? Yeah. Plus you become volatile and angry because you want more. You know, and that's what, for me it was. It was what you've got, I want. Yeah. You know, and I was involved in the same, you know, I ain't no better, ain't no worse. But, you know, I've had them experiences, so yeah, I can identify with them. So going through, like Broadmoor, you must have felt loads of resentment by the sounds of it, like loads of ill wrong done to you.
Because I was broken. I was broken. That's you know, you must relate to that. You know when you're broken. Yeah. Broken. That's what I'm saying. Like, I was lonely. I was underweight. I wasn't eating. I had no release date. I had people wanted to fucking, you know, when I say kill me, I mean literally kill me, not like just fuck. I had people that wanted to fuck me up, but I had people that, you know, would love to fucking cut my head off at the same time, you know, and especially in there. And like, I had no relation with staff. I felt like I know, and I stopped talking to everyone at that time.
Yeah.
I was done. You know, it was only the riot that happened that obviously when I got kicked out, when they actually kicked me out and I went up to Ashworth. You know, when I got to Ashworth, that's when I started rebuilding myself as a person. Obviously, when I went there, there was, you know, I spoke about it. They thought I was going to take Ian Brady hostage.
Yeah.
So that's come out now. There's a clip that's leaked onto YouTube. Basically, they accused me, and basically we had loads of us at the table. There was at a table, and we was all talking about we should get the keys and we should go over and do Ian Brady. So it cost me 9 months segregation when I first went up to Ashworth.
Yeah.
It was a conversation at a jest, you know, that prison banter, that dark banter, humour, lads being lads, and that there was no
security.
But one of the guys at the fucking table thought I'll get some brownie points here. He runs his last, so they're gonna go over and do Ian Brady, you know, the fucking worst piece of shit, you know, a child killer and that. Like, you know, bro, you just threw us all in to get brownie points. It's like, you know, well done. But, you know, I had to do the 9 month segregation because of that. But, you know, not after that, you know, I started doing, you know, I started coming out, I started building myself and that. Then I attacked the van man. I attacked the guy who's the van man in Wales. And then it was after that, that's when I had my spiritual awakening. That's when I had, you know, I discovered law of attraction. That's when the psychologist, me and I had a conversation, you know, she put it down to like, what are you fighting for? Remember the Mayweather and Pacquiao fight?
Yeah.
And she said like, you've got these two different people fighting for two different things. You know, Mayweather, he's very flamboyant, and you got Manny Pacquiao, who like, you know, when he fights, civil war stops when he fights. He's involved with the government. She just broke it down to me. She's like, you got these two people fighting for two different things. She said, what are you fighting for? I was like, I sat in my soul. I was in Seg again. What the fuck am I fighting for? You know, it's like just like. That's when I say the penny drops. I was like, fuck's like, I just sat there. 2 days later, I see a Zen monk, and he talks about letting things go, emotion. The psychologist saying the same thing. You know, randomly picked this book up, The Key to Living Law of Attraction. I'm reading it. I'm like, what's going on? You know what I mean? I just felt like massive differently. I started doing the meditation, started doing the things. I sort of like, so like, you know, that moment in my life was massive. That's what led me onto, you know, the road of redemption now and trying to change and make a difference.
It sounds like you've had like some kind of divine intervention, and it's you know, I understand it's I had the same question asked of me, why are you fighting, you know what I mean? And I remember a mate, he's from London, he said to me, you need to surrender. And I grew up on like 80s action movies, like there was a movie called Nobody's Treating No Surrender.
I remember that, bro. I remember that film. That was Jungle Man, wasn't it? Yeah.
So I remember I grew up on that, Nobody's Treating No Surrender, and you know, surrender to win, it was like you need to just like put your hands up and go, look, the war's over, I can't fight no more. It's like you're getting beat in the ring, right? They throw the towel in for a reason, because you're getting beat, right? Let's stop this. So it was, for me, surrender kind of I felt it was a weak word. It was something I'm going to throw the towel in. But when I actually did, and I put my hands up, and similar to yourself, divine intervention, call it what you want, people will put in my place, you know what I mean? It started give me some guidance, some direction, telling me that I was okay. Give me positive affirmation. You know, you're all right, you. And when someone said to me, you're okay, I was quite suspicious, because I'd never been told that. You know, I was comfortable with words like, you're a psycho, you're nuts, you're not my cup of tea, go away. You know, but when you start telling me I'm okay, is that the same? Was it that the same for yourself with these psychologists and therapists who were giving you some compassion and understanding and showing you a bit of empathy?
I think what it is to me in Ashworth, like, a lot of the gym staff and I got total respect for. You know, I've said it in the other podcast, Tony Quigley, for me, you know, like when I told him about it, I've got this
Tony
goal
Quigley,
dream.
Yeah, brilliant boxer.
It was amazing, man. Fought Paul Smith in Echo Arena, man, didn't he? Like,
I think he boxed there, Tony Johnson, I'm not too sure, I can't remember.
Just obviously inspiration of a man, you know, he's a staff, I'm a patient. There's me want to come out, box and build a platform and do what I'm doing and that. And like, he was the first staff. You know, when I told everyone, like, when I tell everyone these goals, these dreams, and they, you know, they're entertained it, but they didn't believe it. But Tony Quigley was the first geezer. When I told him, he turned around and like turned his chair around and told me, how you gonna do it? And then we started talking, and he gave me my advice on, I don't know him, I think where he's been, what I'm trying to get to, and honestly, the respect I had, and like him taking the time and giving me like them advice, the gym staff and Ashworth giving me time, let me train. And I think having that, like, in the system, I never felt, and you know, even as a kid and that, like, I've always never felt like equal. I've never felt like there. So I think, you know, when you, like you're saying, when people like talking to you on a level, talking to you like you're normal and all that, you know, like you're equal, it meant a lot. you know. And I think,
Yeah.
you know, when I started getting that, people talking to me like an adult and people talking to me like maturity and on a level and believing, it goes a long way. That's why now in the system they need to start, you know, the world and everyone wants to put people down all the time.
Yeah.
You know, I've been on that path where I've put people down. I've been a cunt. And all I want to do is try and build people up because I know the difference, that one word, that one action, that big ripple effect, the difference it can have. And that's why now I want to try and make a difference. I want to try and build people up because everyone wants to put us down, boo. It does, man, isn't it? Everyone wants to put us down.
So it sounds to me like you've had like an experience where you've had people showing you that humanness, and that's sort of made you change your way of thinking and your attitude towards life in general. You know what I mean? And I understand it's like meeting people where they're at. Sometimes though you can't meet people. You try and meet people where they're at, and they just don't want to know. The reality is you've got to be willing. You know, if you're willing and you meet someone meet them halfway and go, look, I want to change, but I need you to hold me hand here a little bit, and show me the way.
Exactly. So we haven't always got it in here.
Yeah.
If we've grown up the way we're coming from the streets or whatever, our education, do you know what I mean? Our mind is antisocial. You know, our thinking patterns and traits we have. You know, we need people like saying to guide us to, like, you know, rewire some of this, and that's what it was. The psychologist for me, she helped me figure out and the Zen monk and that, to let things go. That was the biggest thing for me. You know, dealing with emotions, not acting out of them emotions. Like, you know, someone says, "Oh, he's a dickhead," you're this. It's just called me dickhead. You start associating that with like past actions. Oh, he's trying to do this. He's trying to mug me off. He's trying to bully me. Then all like, you're going to act out, so attack him over him, call me dickhead. You're not tackling him over that. You're tackling him because all that past trauma, that emotions you have, that's connected to that. Do you get what I mean? So for me, it was about letting things go on. When, you know, Jenny Kilcorn, when she helped me figure all that out, that was like the big sort of stay and let things go. Like, you know, I said before, like, I got attacked 3 times after that since the last time I violently attacked someone, and I never retaliated.
Isn't it great how when you get that little bit of awareness and that understanding, like we talk about thoughts, feelings and actions, like you've just said it there. Like I could sit there and years ago and look at someone and think, does he think I'm a dickhead? Straight away, I'm doing his thinking. It's in my head. Okay, so that's a thought. So the feeling that's attached to that thought is anger. I'll show him pride, ego. He's probably thinking about something else. Cause I'm
probably thinking about what's for dinner tonight, you know what I mean?
So all of a sudden there's a consequence because I'm creating an action.
Yeah.
Who the fuck are you looking at? Do you think I'm a dickhead? I've been, and of course my own. See, I'm the creator of my own problems. I am the creator. Right? I look for problems. I listen at doors. I'm looking through spiles. I'm always looking for a problem. Instead of like that letting go is a big one. It is. So that must have been a big one for you as well. You know, that letting go. Yeah. Just go. You know what? Let life unfold.
Yeah, ain't easy. It ain't easy. You know, it took, like I say, I got attacked times after. Nah, got attacked. You know, times after about letting it go. But you know, it's just, you know, it's just them traits you got to pick up, learning. Like one thing the psychologist said to me, and I try and listen to it. It's like you're at a train station. All them thoughts and that, like trains are gonna pass. Yeah. So, I mean, don't get on the train, just let it go past, let it go, and just all like that. And then the funny thing is, not what come out afterwards. What's it called? The kids won't let it go. Do you know what I mean? Every time I see it, let it go.
Still haven't watched it.
What they call it? I can't remember what they call it, but just like it's the thing, it's true. Just let it go. Like, and that's the one thing I try and really tell myself. And then I started seeing things, and this is what I think it's like signs. Like a staff not long after, she had like just like a hand, and it sort of let go of balloons, and in the balloons it said let it go, just let it go, and I just kept drilling, like self-talking myself that, and you know, offloading, and over time it's come, you know, like coming out now, I've been out 4 months from 10 years, you know, from 10 years being away, you know, I'm still adjusting, I still get anxious, I suffer like mental health, you know, I suffer anxiety and, you know, depression. You know, luckily I've got a solid partner, she's amazing, that she's with me, and she helps build me up, she gets it, and I think, you know, our support is who we surround ourselves with is everything.
It's always the shame of always being said, like bad company corrupts good character. So when you're hanging out, you know, when you're around good people, you know, it starts to permeate. See, and it's something that I've always been said, you know, we do change, right, but we don't change into buttes. You know, I'm not changing into some dickhead. I could change, right, everything about me and my way of thinking. But it's so easy to step back into those old boots, innit? And go down that road again. So, what is it? You know, you're quite new by the sounds of it, in holding on to kind of like your integrity.
Yeah.
And just going, look, okay, fucking things are, you know, going to be difficult in life. How do I respond and not react? Because that's what it's about.
Yeah.
I always had relationships, never had a relationship. I had reacted with everything. I never responded. It was always kicking off. You know, it was about me. It was always fucking. I had a blame thrower, Ben.
Oh, I relate. I know. When you're saying it, I'm relating, bro.
Yeah,
I know exactly. Anyone who knows me from the board, they know. You know what I mean? Like, we know. I know what you're saying.
The same as yourself. I've climbed on prison roofs and blamed the prison system for me being on top of there.
Yeah.
And then when I'm asked why I'm there, and blaming the fact that the chips are shit in the canteen and that there's no kit change. It's just excuses.
Yeah, it's just that offload, isn't it? It's just that escapism, that emotion, anger. I get it.
So you've done 10 years and you've been out 4 months.
Yeah.
So in these 4 months, what have you been up to? What was your so when you've met Tony Quigley in Ashworth and he sat down, he said, how are you gonna achieve this? How did you achieve what you're trying to achieve today?
Combination of things. Like I said, the first title I got when I got out, you realize with Bill, it's PTAW, and that stands for prove them all wrong. Like I still have that negative energy, I still have that emotion I carry with me, but I channel it correctly. Like Broadmoor tried to break me, he did break me, yeah. I got a lot of anger in that, but I let that drive me now. Do you know what I mean? I'm not going to be the stereotypical type of, I was in care and all this and going to jail and all that. Nah, I'm not having that. I'm going to make a difference. I'm going after them fucking possible. Law of attraction, I talk this into existence. I'm manifesting it. I visualised this when I was in segregation, Billy. All this, I visualised it. Yeah? People sound crazy. When I sat in segregation, I was like, I made a deal with the universe. I made these goals and I'm ticking them off, bro. I might be fucking crazy. I accept that. The universe, I sat and spoke with the universe and I had this deal and I'm chasing my dreams. And the most important thing is, I'm going against it. I'm against all odds, which is cool. Do you know what I mean? I sang with a box, my age is against me, whatever. I don't care. I'm still going to prove them all wrong. And I'm going to inspire the young generation so don't have to go down the path that I did, or the path that we will do. Just, if you have that thought in your head, you have something you want to go after, I want to prove to people that you can do it. If I can come from life sentence in Broadmoor to out living the dream and going after things and people are like, how the fuck are you doing this, bro? Then come on, you know what I mean? You're young enough, go after your goals, go after your dreams. Yeah. And that's what I'm trying to do, Bill. I'm getting involved with all the, the anti-knife campaigns. I'm not making anything of this. I'm putting myself out there. I'll put my body out there on the line. I'm going to do everything I can to try and make a difference. It's my redemption and it's the passion that drives me. But a lot of it comes from...
your experience.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Not channeling it. That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm not channeling it because it comes from a dark place. Yeah. But I channel it through in a good place. Does that make sense? Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah. Your agenda's right, and you know it's clear. I'm shame. I remember when you're writing a book as well, aren't you? So that's good stuff. And I remember me.
Thanks to someone though. Thanks.
Yeah, don't worry about it. But what happened with me is I told my mates I was going to write a book, right? And they all said, "All right, yeah, sounds, yeah, okay, lad, it's right." No one believed me, right? Until I pulled it out. I read that book and they were all shocked. I mean, it was a friend, Pod, she sat there, he went, "Bill, you were saying it for months you were going to write this book." And he said, I was just like sort of humoured you and, it's right, Bill, all the best, I can't wait to read it. And then you pulled it out, he said, I was like, wow, what the fuck? Then you turned around and said, you're going to make a movie out of this. Then I believed you. He said, it's and he's in my second story, Pod, and it's old friend of mine. So, I don't let anyone, right, tell you can't do fucking what you believe you can. You know what I mean? This is, the impossible is possible. It's...
80% of the word impossible is possible.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Someone said that to me once. It burnt me. I never, no one of them sayings never leave you. It's one of them.
See, what I love about doing these podcasts is like that. I like getting guests on who want to change their life. I've got a diverse guest list, which is, it's important to me. It's quite therapeutic for me to communicate with someone. I can identify with almost everybody that I interview. And I realise it doesn't matter what walk of life you come from, whether you've been to prison. It's not a requirement to go to prison to be interviewed.
No.
Definitely not. It's not a requirement to have mental health to be interviewed. But all of us have got some aspect of it. And it's how we deal with it. And it seems to me that you're dealing with it a lot better now through the the help and the understanding from staff in Ashworth. You know what I mean? So you what's this boxing career that you've got planned from? So because I'd seen it on James English's show, From Broadmoor to Boxing. I like James. Thanks, James, for all your support. He's helped me a lot.
We've got to shout some love out to James.
Oh,
mate,
yeah,
you know what I mean?
big love. But he said, yeah, Ben, good stuff, get him on. And he mentioned something about Broadmoor to Boxing. So what's all that? That's an interesting title, and that's not the title of your new book, is it?
No, the book and the film. I've been filmed for Amazon Prime Movies since the day that I got out. You know, showing people what's like integrating back
The road
in
to redemption.
yeah, just showing them the journey that I'm going to do this. You know, boxing, because I love boxing. Do you know what I mean? I've always loved, like I said in another interview, if it was art, I'll be taking art to the extreme. I'll be painting fucking Big Ben, bro. You know what I mean? If it was rock climb, I'll be doing it. Anything it is that I want to really go after and really go. And that's where the boxing, you know, it was meant to be, the fight was meant to have been on 14th of November. You know, I was going to fight a guy called Lewis for the IBA. But, you know, things have really sort of gone a bit past it now. Like, it's really blowing up the platform and all that. So, you know, I'm training with, you know, I've got a quality team now. And I'm so glad you mentioned this. I've got to shout out to them, Billy, man. Honestly, Double J Boxing, Ashford Kent, man. What an amazing group of lads. You know, and my strength condition coach, Zach, and all, you know, they've all given me the time and energy. And I always said earlier about people treating you on that level. All the people that supported me, my cousins, in this boxing, but especially the love I'm getting at this new gym, honestly, Double J Boxing, man. You know, the pros there, the love there. And I said it to him in an interview, you know, if you just go there as a kid and all that, these guys are more than coaches. They're fucking, honestly, amazing guys, and it helped build him up. I suffer mental health, you know, going to different gyms, especially now I have a platform and feel like, you know, people digging me or whatever. But going there, I feel home. I would feel I'm known forever. I said to the Jack, the owner, I told him, you're stuck with me for life now, bro. I'm here. This is my home now. But, you know, and support and encouraging. So we're going after, obviously, you know, there's a few contacts we got with the boxing that they know they are. You know, we're going for the pro license. We're going, you know, I'm going to trying to do what I'm going to try, man. I'm going to go for the pro fight. You know, I'm going for it.
Have you had any like fights in the amateurs as a kid, or was it just
street life?
Street life.
No, I tried the box. I did try the boxing as a kid. I did. It's actually the Thai. I went to a bit of Thai boxing, but I was more like punching. Asterix and Eastbournes. I went there for a bit, but it was all street life for me, bro. It was all straight street life. But I've always liked the boxing. I've always watched it and. You know, now I've got some great links in it and I'm trying, you know, I'm like a sponge, I'm trying to soak it all in. Like, you know, you being a former boxer yourself, the work that goes in, these pros, and I don't think they get enough praise. People just sit and watch the fight on the night. The amount of work goes in, getting up, eating right, you know, even the mental aspect of the game and that as well. Honestly, for the guys that boxing, man, you know,
it's probably the loneliest sport on the planet, and it's a sport that it takes a lot of discipline, a lot of discipline, a lot of shelf kind of like will. You know what I mean? You've really got to drive yourself.
I'll get schooled all the time.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'll get black eyes, I'll get pop nose, honestly, all the time and that. You know what I mean? It's a hard sport, the levels to the game, and you know, but just everyone that's supporting me with it and trying to, you know, I'm like a sponge and trying to learn, man. Nothing shout out, but it is known. And there is times I think, you know, have I gone a bit too far? Like, am I trying? Again, it's the mental battle, but you know, it's proven me wrong. Like, fuck it, I've got a goal, I've got a vision, I've got a dream. Like, I'm not gonna let no one tell me that I can't do this. Yeah. I've got people close to me, they question it sometimes. Maybe you should just do the unlicensed and all that. No, why? I'm going for this. Do you know what I mean? I'd rather fail trying. If I go, I lose, and fuck it. I got up and I tried, didn't it? Yeah. I'm not going to look back and think, I've already got enough regret, really. Yeah. I've got 10 years regret, you know what I mean? I've got enough to look back and be like, no, I fucked up. I'm not going to look back at this and say I didn't try. Yeah. I lose, but I lose in fucking style. Do you know what I mean? I'll go out there and put a fucking show on for everyone. I promise you that. I'll promise you that as well. But I'll go out if I fail, I'll go out, try it and fail. Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And that's how it's going to be done. I
spoke to a former professional boxer last week, Courtney Fry, brilliant boxer from London. And he was talking about when he trained, he always thought to himself, I'm training harder than the person that I'm fighting. I'm getting up earlier than the person that I'm boxing. And because he'd get up earlier, he'd train harder, and that was his focus. And I love that, because for me, you know, it's you've got to go that extra mile. You know what I mean? And if you believe that you can win and you can do this, then you will.
100%,
100%, mate.
100%.
And you've won anyway, even if you get beat.
That's it. Do you know what I mean? It's like that I come from a license in Broadmoor to go out there and making a pro debut and all that. Like, it's the message behind that going to inspire people, and that's what drives me to do this.
Yeah.
You know, you know what I mean? Don't think I'm going out there to lose. You know what I mean? I'm gonna go out there and put my fucking heart on the line. Do you get what I mean? Like, you know, we wanna go out whatever rounds, we'll go whatever rounds. You wanna try and knock me out, listen, I'm gonna try and knock you out. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm coming for it. I ain't playing the games with it. Do you know what I mean? I'm not doing this for like Insta fucking pictures and all that. It's not about that. You know, this message run deep. Like I'm saying, you know, Jack Hubert Dempsey, Jack Well, George, Joe, name them all the one like, you know, really showing believes that, all of them, do you know what I mean? You know, having them people, what we said earlier, when people, I think it made, that's what I'm saying, but it's important to build people up. I think when you got people that believe in you, when you got people that, you know, encouraging you, it makes a fucking difference, bro.
Yeah,
it does,
it
makes a difference.
Yeah, it doesn't have to make a difference, mate. I mean, I think too many people are out there to make a life without and stands on everyone else at the same time, and I've experienced that. Trust me, Ben. I know there's people out there to swear them. You know what I mean? It's there's people out there who'll reach down and help you up. You know, and those people that do that for me, you know, 100%. I'm in your corner. You know, and I'm working with something called Weapons Down, Gloves Up at the minute, and I know you're passionate about knife crime, and you know the person who reached out and helped me at my lowest, I'm in her corner from day one. You know what I mean? I've always said, look, I'll support anything that you've got going on. It's going to be a benefit for the community. It's going to, because like I'm at an age now, and you're quite younger than myself, where I've done a lot of damage. I've left a path of destruction. You know, and it is about redemption, about change, and it's quite difficult when you've got a history of criminality to not have that stigma and those labels thrown at you when you're trying your best. You know, you're trying and you're up against, you know, brick walls, and you've got to go over all these hurdles, you know, and all you know that your intentions are solid. You know, it's quite difficult when you go, where's he been? He's been to jail, he's done this, I don't have nothing to do with him. That, even though people might not be saying it, it's very intrusive in the thoughts. You know, your mental health can't escape. You know, and I'm a sensitive guy, and I don't mean I start pressing flowers into fucking books and reading poems off verandas to birds. I mean, if you're looking at me funny, a part of me thinks, you know, does he want to go with me or something? Because I've got that way of thinking. It's quite difficult to change. And sometimes, like, it's where you said it earlier on, surrender, put your hands up, you know, let go. It's ongoing. I've got to keep that positive self-talk, and I hope that's what you keep doing with yourself as well, you know, going forward, because that's what it's about.
Cheers, man. I think what you're doing is amazing as well. So see the Weapons Down, man, it's amazing. I'm behind you fully, you know what I mean? You give me the opportunity, like, you know, let me come and speak and that as well. It's a little, you know what I mean? It's that thing saying about building people coming there. Do you know what I mean? I'm behind all anti-knife, Weapons Down, Gloves Up, I'm behind it all. So you got my full support on that as well, bro.
I'm really grateful that you've turned up and actually travelled from London today to
London. I'm below London. I'm by the sea, bro. Hastings. I'm at the south coast, bro.
Still fucking southerners. It's like lock, stock and two smoking barrels.
He told me in Ashworth, you know, they'll be watching this. There's some adopted Scouse. So
yeah,
I'm a Scouse with the accent. Bro.
There's a lot of wannabe Scousers, and be sure there's a lot of adopted Scousers that like that deserve that badge of honour. But so see, like you so going away, what did you initially go away for?
Initially a fight in the pub that I didn't do.
Is that it? Yeah.
Yeah, I was recalled. I was involved in knife crime in 2017 because it wasn't just 10 years ago, you know, but I did like 12 and a half really. I got 5 years in 2017. I come out in 2010, I was out for 7 months. You know, I hadn't changed. I was straight street life, you know, that was involved with the drug scene, obviously robbing, and more violence, but it was a fight in the pub. So I wasn't saying I'll come out and I was like an angel. I just didn't get caught for the things I was actually doing. You know, I actually got recalled for a fight that I didn't actually do in a pub. The same t-shirt. I didn't come caught, I got acquitted, but that's when my path of destruction in the jail system happened. That, you know, they accused me of being a ringleader in Lewis. You know, a lot of shit was happening there. I got kicked out of Lewis, went to Winchester, did the roof protest, and things were escalating. You know, there was alleged hostage taken, but you know, a sex offender, got badly assaulted and that as well. They accused me for that. I got sliced and someone else. It was just there was just one
It was
thing
just like
after.
fucking loads of.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, what it is, when I was on top of, when I went to Broadmoor, when I was on top of the roof in Winchester, you know, you've done it as well. You know, they bring in like what they call it, like professional negotiators and that. They want to sit and chat shit with you, innit? Like, I know I've done a few protests, innit? You don't get anything you ask for, innit?
No,
you know
you never get anything you ask for.
nothing.
It's a waste of time.
Twice a time, yeah, that's what you get. But I remember, I just entertained it just for a fucking laugh, just being antisocial and that. And it's negotiators. So what you want? I'll tell you what, I'll come down if you get me an Elvis Presley impersonator singing "Faith" by George Michael. I was like, what the fuck? So yeah, Broadmoor. It was like, you're not right. And I never got my Elvis Presley impersonator singing "Faith" by George Michael.
So is that why they sent you to Broadmoor, because they believed?
Yeah, I had escape attempts as well. It was another place and I done for escape. But I did, hostage, escape, this. It was all, I just did, I mean, it was just escalating. Like, you know, I was damaged, like saying I went away. I lost the relationship I had at the time. You know, my first experience of love, I lost that. Yeah. You know, I was inside for something I didn't actually do. Instead, that's the way I was looking at it. Instead of looking at it like, hold on, I'll come out. I wasn't being upstanding members, you know, the public. I just didn't get caught for the things I was doing. You know, I got caught for something I didn't do. But I was like, oh, I didn't fucking do this. And then I was just getting in so much shit inside. In the end, they had no choice but to lie. In the end, they gave me indefinite, section 3741. And I said,
you got an indefinite sentence?
Indefinite. They said, there's no release date, but there's no time that you'll come home. And when I was in Broadmoor, that was it. It's game over, man. I mean,
did you believe when you were in Broadmoor and you had an indefinite sentence hanging over your head that was it? It's done. Game over.
Done. I stopped talking to everyone. Yeah. But it was done. I had everyone fucking trying to do me in and out in there, clashing with the staff constantly. I was fucking broken as a man on a release date. You know what I mean? The only one, you know, how I never committed suicide, I'll never know. Yeah. Because when you think about it, but there's thinking about
no
it,
hope.
Knowing you're going to do it, no hope. I had nothing. You know, and then how I didn't do it, I don't know, you know, but you know, you just got to dig deep. Lucky enough I did. Fortunate enough, you know, that riot that happened that got me kicked out, what they accused me for, was the best thing that could have happened. Do you know what I mean? It's shown a lot of light. There's a bit of a cover up that's going to come out. You know, there's a whistleblower that come out, which is a staff from their end. You know, obviously when I write my book, you know, it's all coming out. You know,
so there's a big Broadmoor cover up that that's going to be exposed.
It's come from them as well. That's the thing is, it ain't like me coming on his book and be like, there's a cover up and like, yo, lad, it's on. You know what I mean? It's on. You know, the papers, the Health Journal published something years back saying, you know, the Broadmoor never told about public riot, and then the whistleblower come out from who was a staff from Broadmoor. So they definitely ain't come out to defend me, and they fucking hated me. But they've come out and said, you know, how patients was being ill-treated, then locked up, and it was all dying. It was fucking hell, that war. That war was fucking hell.
So you must have had some really notorious criminals.
That
were in Shane there. He was there at the time.
Well, I was in there. Well, I had to make the fucking chicken burger for the Yorkshire Ripper. Imagine that one, bro. I nearly... got careful mentioning that one. It was a very high profile... Kenneth Story Strangler, like, sent him to his burger. Someone, I don't know who it was, someone put like a mad fucking hot pepper sauce in his burger at the cafe, and he fucking mad reaction.
Was this the Yorkshire Ripper?
No, this was Kenneth Stockwell Strangler. He's the other one. At the end, the Ripper was there, and that piece of shit, Robert Napa, all the, do you know what I mean? There's all the high profiles around, do you know what I mean? All even up in Ashworth, the Dow Cregan, all of them, do you know what I mean? Like,
did you ever come across Dale?
Yeah, I was his training partner for 2 years.
What was your experience with him? Because I mean, that's a fucking mad one now. What he got?
We was on the gyms, like on general gym and that. So you get allocated groups and etc. And obviously we was in the same groups. We had to be training partners and all that. So, but it's just in there. It's just fucking we'll just throw it in there and that together, innit? You know
I mean? Sometimes you haven't got a choice. You know, I've been thrown in shells with people as I want to be in with, and it's you know, and it was fucking hard work, you know. So I get it. And to be in with the likes of Dale and that, I mean, he was quite high profile as well. He was, you know,
the helicopters with him, with the movements and all sorts and all that. Like, he was like, he was high profile.
I wonder what possessed. I wonder what. Seriously, I always think to myself, what fucking possesses you, right? To commit those kind of crimes. I mean, you must have. It's not like you've got to be crazy. You must have had to literally just lost your mind. Yeah. Right. It's like when people want to, you know, I've got to be careful how I say this. When people want to end their life, it's not because I don't believe the sad, or you can identify with this. It's a total loss of like fucking your mind. Boom. There's just nothing there. There's just it's fucking scary because it's so close. It's so easy because I've been there myself, Ben, and I know what it's like. Where I've wanted to end it. I really, really have, and I've been so close. But there's something that's within me that's just gone fucking nah.
What is it? I don't know.
I don't know what that was. It was like there was. I remember saying once to these guys, I wanted to fucking hang myself off the bars, and I didn't have anything to do it with, and he had a pair of laces in his pumps, and I said, "Can I buy your laces off you?" He said, he spoke to me in his best English, and he asked me why, and I said, "I want to fucking finish it," you know what I mean? And he said, "You can't, it's against the rules." And I was like, "What do you mean it's a fucking against the rule?" He said, "Collectively as a cell," and there was like 80 of us in the cell, he said, "We'd get punished." So at that moment, I realised how selfish, even though I felt, I didn't think about my family at the same time, but I felt about these, how these would be treated, these inmates. He'd been really nice to me and fed me and that at the same time. Yeah. So there was something there that made me stop. And I think it was, I just don't know what the fuck, what drives people.
I don't know. That's the one. People that I've been in with, like, the stories they hear, I've heard it all, but my mind's poisoned from it all. Like I said, you don't come out in places the same. My friends now, I'll never be the same. Now I've struggled now, anxiety, mental, and that. Do you know how many things I've heard, seen, I've had to done? I'll never come back from that. I think that's why I get the energy now, to make a difference, to stop people going to doing all that sort of shit. Do you know what I mean? It's fucking wrong. What you did was fucking wrong. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. And there's other people, I want to, I'm so passionate now, I just want to make a difference. I don't want...
The more good you do in your life, the more rewards you get. And all that shit that you've experienced, that will pass. Trust me, mate, that will pass. It's while you're in it and it's happening to you, and I've had all that anxiety, self-obsession. Yeah, I felt like everyone was looking at me, and I was the focus of everyone's fucking topic. You know what I mean? It was horrible, and it's got to a point where not asked. Even when you read comments, I'm quite sensitive in the beginning, where, why did he say that about me? Does he know who I am? Doesn't he understand, or doesn't she understand what I've been through? Oh, poor me, woe be me. Fucking everyone's welcome to an opinion. You'll get comments in the thread that you won't like, and you think, well, fuck him, not asked. You know what I mean? I'm only here, and we are blessed with a few short decades of life, and it's about living it, not fucking living in the fucking thoughts of fucking other people's minds. You know what I mean?
No, of course.
So I get.
I've been fortunate, and I gotta say this to everyone who live out the comments, everyone who's been supporting, like people I don't know. Like, I've done my best replying. The amount of messages I've had on Instagram, 'cause that's what I'm doing. I've just built a YouTube channel right now to try and upload it, 'cause not everyone does Instagram. But I've replied to all the comments, all the people that I've opened up, and that, I've been quite blessed that people. I haven't been getting hate and all that. I was worried that podcast, I went a bit off before that podcast with James English went out there, because I was like, oh no, but people are going to hate and all this, but the support and that. And I got stopped outside my girlfriend's house. I got stopped. A woman. So I said this to him, I said, earlier, you Ben, me and my husband watch your podcast, totally support. And I've been quite fortunate and quite blessed. A lot of people, when they start getting platforms, they get dug out a little bit. There's been a few comments, but I'm not really I'm not entertaining it. The amount of positive feedback and comments that I'm getting from people that are supportive and that, and you know what I mean, like, it's, you know what I mean, it must be on a positive effect, because even yourself, with us coming here today, giving you a chance to come up, everyone else, I'm doing something good, and I feel this is my purpose with this, the boxing, going after it. Like, I'm blessed that I've come out and have this opportunity with Amazon and everything, and trying to do something. But I can only get, obviously, with the support that are writing the comments, that are watching me. So, a special thank you to all those that are supporting me, that are watching me. And, I see all the comments. So you may not think I've seen them, the nice things you've said, but all the nice things that you have said, that they're giving me the motivation to go out and try and make a difference. So I just want to say thank you so much. That's deep. I know it's deep, but I know all the messages I get on Insta. I know people on YouTube, they couldn't message, but I've tried replying to them all. People really opened up. You must get it as well, man. People relate to your story. Like, I said to you, on your film, I watched the bonus, and then when you said about And it inspired me, bro. And I was in high secure when I see this. Like, you inspired me. That's just crazy getting to meet you and that now. And we're talking. Is when you said like you were so determined. You had this, you kept going back there. I fucking love that. That's proved me wrong, but you had this spirit. You was not taking no for an answer. You told everyone, man. That's law of attraction right there, bro. Yeah. You knew it was gonna get done, and you kept going back to that door, knocking on that. Just reading. You went back there. Honestly, man, I was
quite passionate back then. You know, it was. I mean, the older I've got, I think the slower I become in the Al passion. Fucking feel like, but yeah, it served the purpose. It's you know, and obviously I wasn't savvy, and this is where I'm willing to help people like yourself as well. I'm not savvy. I wasn't savvy in the industry. I didn't understand contracts and business, and I was signing documents that I really didn't know what I was signing, and taking like less percentages than everybody else, and thinking it was okay, and I was, you know what. So yeah, I was misled. I fucking sold down the river and ended up with like nothing, but. You know, and that's I learn from that. Yeah. And I've read this second one, and like my agent who have introduced it to, he's fucking sound. He's really good stuff on that, and he's we're preparing to sell, well, not to sell this book. Have it on sale in July. I can't even remember. They've changed the title. What the title was called? Surrender from the Heart.
Surrender.
Yeah, that was the title. But obviously, the publishers didn't like that. It didn't go down with what their agenda was, and we've got it now too. It's called Fighting Back. A Prisoner's Tale of Redemption. So yeah, that's the title. Fighting Back: A Prisoner's Tale of Redemption. And that should be on sale by July next year, and that's similar stuff that we've talked about. Prison reform, prison rehabilitation. How do staff communicate with the likes of ourselves whilst we're in there, and how do we deal and respond?
It's a big thing, though. The communication, it's a big thing, bro. Big thing.
If you don't, I mean, you can. It's the same old story, innit? You can fill the prisons all you want, but you're filling them full of like you're fueling resentment and hate. And you're sending a lot of people back on the streets with all that bitterness and hatred and resentment, and it's just a fucking never ending.
It's the circle, isn't
it? You've got to a stage in your life, you know, where it's some people have sat down with you and actually went, look, get your shit together, lad. We can help you.
Let me chase my inclination. You know, so I said it in another podcast, same with Einstein. You know, when people take that time and let you, what your inclination is, what your vocation is, and give you the time and energy and let you go about it. It just makes a massive difference. Even that little thought, that kind word, that thought, like giving someone that full belief, and it makes a massive difference. Look, the ripple effect. It's like, you know, big believer in the ripple effect. That's one of my like therapeutic moments where I learned the ripple effect. You know, you got the pond, the pebble. You know, like the layers, the ripples. It's like one action, that one word can have like a massive ripple effect. You don't know who it's affecting. It's like everything we're doing now on, you know, out there, like your film. I saw that. We didn't know each other. You didn't know I watched that, and that fucking interview talk inspired me. Yeah. But you know what I mean? How that contributed to everything I'm doing now. I sat and thought, I fucking love that. I mean, that hunger, you know, I was taken by that. It's that ripple effect, you know, them words, them actions that we do. And I think for me now, that's the big thing that I try to say and watch my actions. And that's what I really want to try and, but I think, like you said, the communications and that there, it's really important that how we go about carrying ourselves and building people. I think that's the main thing. It's trying to build. That's what for me. I just want to build people and give people. That's why I reply to all the comments. My phone ran out of dead battery so many times. My missus is going mad. I leave the phone, but I wanted to like people give me the time and energy to like go from YouTube to look me up on Instagram and then to message me and people really open up. Do you know what I mean? Really like saying personal things and that. You know, I didn't want to do like a copy and paste to every fucking message. I took time and really replied and. You know, I've still got.
You know what? I think it's important, and I do myself, Ben. You know, I'll sit down and I'll find time and I'll go through all the DMs and I'll respond and I'll go, do you know what? Thanks for your message, and it means a lot to me. It's and I think it's important. And when you get a response, you go, I didn't really believe you'd answer me.
Yeah, I
was quite surprised. I'm quite shocked, and thank you.
And it makes a day.
It's also it's. I feel sometimes like it's more of a privilege for me to do that. Like I don't know if you can get it. It's like See, because you expect like people who are on massive platforms and you watch them on TV and you've seen and you send them a message, they're nothing.
Yeah.
Let's have it right. There's celebrities out there and we all know who you are.
Your blue ticks, we know who you are. You don't reply.
You don't give us the time of day. And I've done that. Like, just, wow, I loved it. I love what you said and this, that. And you know, and then I think to myself, but you know what? Back to you blue ticks. I know that you're probably really, really busy.
Yeah.
And that you've been down that road and you've answered a lot of questions and it gets, see, over the years you get to a point where it's like, you know, like life takes over as well.
Yeah.
I've got a family, I've got a little baby and it's like, you know, I've got to be there for him. I'm quite old for a dad, first time dad, but you know, it's quite exciting and, you know, I believe he'll have me run ragged and I'd love him to become a little boxer as well, you know what I mean? And you know what, it's like, but that's his, I've got to understand, I've got to allow him to make his own choices, you know, and those decisions, but you know, if I can influence him in any way, then hopefully I'll bend a few rules. But do you know what, Ben, I really love your passion, and I like I said to you before, I try not to get too much information about like me guests, you know what I mean, because I like to hear firsthand their story, and I could listen to you all day.
Thank you.
I've actually loved what you've had to say. And is there anything right before we end on? Is there anything that I always say? There's any pearls of wisdom that you've come up with? Because I know you've given me loads there, by the way. You know what I mean? You've given me loads of food for thought. But is there anything that you could say your former self? There was a younger you walking into that prison cell or into that vision room, and you were there and you had the opportunity to say something to him. What would you say? And I know it's a big ask.
But you know what, bro? You think, with all the therapy that I've done and everything I'm doing, someone would have asked me. No one asked me like that. You really got me thought. That's a good question, bro. Like, really good. It's you really got me thinking. No one's asked me that, you know. You think I would have as well, like, you know, the first one asked me that. If I had to go back to myself and I'm sitting there, so I say just sit, relax, chill, switch off your thing, switch down, calm down, and think. What is your look up the word inclination. First, go in the dictionary, look up that word. Find out that word, your inclination. What makes you tick? What makes you burn? What is your vocation? What is your calling? What is it you're drawn towards? Yeah. Now channel that. Visualize what it is. Go get that. And then whenever doubt you, then PTIW. Prove them all wrong. Go get your dreams, bro. Go get it.
Brilliant. And with that, mate, fucking absolutely brilliant. Thank you. Thanks, Ben. Hello, guys. If you've enjoyed this podcast, then subscribe here. Follow me on all social media platforms here. And my guests are here. Thank you.